I came to medicine from law. So when I started medical school, I had a background as a lawyer, and I worked in constitutional criminal law and indigent legal access. I, as a lawyer, was working with bioethicists on some issues that were coming up for various clients that I had in the indigent clinics. I realized very quickly that the background that I had in law and in analysis of difficult questions was perfectly applicable to the questions that arise in bioethics. I'm going to teach a course on reproductive ethics. So we're going to talk a lot about all the different issues that come up in the setting of women's health, and specifically as it relates to their reproductive capabilities, making them unique within our population. My name is Louise King, and I'm a surgeon. I specialize in minimally invasive surgical options for women. We're going to talk about all the different aspects, ethical questions that come up in the setting of assisting women and their partners with reproduction. Some of those questions can be as simple as the techniques themselves and what they mean for the couples and what it means for a physician to be participating in that act. It also comes down to who has access to these reproductive technologies. We're going to discuss some of the newer issues that are coming up in the setting of genetics, in the setting of genetic screening and newer technologies in genetics that affect the way we approach reproductive technologies and what's available now, what might be available in the future, and frankly, what should be available. My reproductive ethics course is going to be we're going to do like 3 or 4 sessions on ART, but the rest is going to be all kinds of other stuff, including abortion. We're going to touch on it twice because it's such a controversial issue, and I really want people to be able to discuss it both when they first meet each other and as they're leaving the course, to see what they've learned about dialogue and about addressing really difficult issues. We're going to talk about surgery for women, which is a really interesting area of ethics where the reimbursement rates are much lower than for many aspects of surgery for men, just because we're women and where access to care can be more difficult. We're going to talk about disclosure and young women and women who want birth control but are young and have issues in terms of disclosure to their parents. And so there's a huge gamut of issues that come up for women in ethics that I'm very excited to talk to them about. I teach the fellows for the in vitro fertilization program, and I also perform the surgeries, the complicated surgeries that come up in the setting of fertility for the program. So I serve as a faculty advisor to 2 students in the master's program. I greatly enjoy serving as a mentor. Perhaps the most important aspect of it for me is the fact that I myself had wonderful mentors, and I really want to pay it forward. The questions that they ask of me, the issues that they bring up, always stimulate thought for me and allow me to help guide them in the choices that they're making as they're moving forward. So throughout my medical school career, I was part of the ethics committee at my medical school, and I actually taught the ethics course in tandem with being a part of it at one point. And then I just met different people along the way who were truly inspiring to me and kept pushing me forward. And especially so once I finally found my family here in Harvard, and every place has their own feel. But the aspect of Harvard and the Harvard community that I think is the most valuable is this constant buzz, melting pot of ideas that just invigorates everybody around it. Everybody's thinking of something new and interesting and presenting it. Within any given week, I'm just constantly trying to figure out, should I go to this lecture or this lecture, and what can I fit in? And within any given month, I'm collaborating with many different people on projects. It might be something to write, it might be a quality improvement project just for some little thing that we need to make better, but it's constant movement towards more, better, different. And that's not been my experience everywhere else. I've worked at some wonderful places, but this incredible energy that pervades this place is really, really unique.